Yeah, welcome to NECO 2026 Agricultural Science Practical Preparatory class. My name still remains Matt Kem. So this is the part B video. If you have not watched the part A video, ensure you go down to the comment section to request for the part A video. And I'm very sure that this video is going to be of help to you by God's will. I wish you best of luck in your exam. So in the part A video, we have discussed about section 1 and section 2. While in this part B video, we are going to look into section 3 and section 4. So you can also see the section 3 and section 4. Ensure you watch the part A video very well, and also before you move down to this part B video. So now section 3 says that yam tuber, groundnut seed, and rat. Yes, rat. So now let's talk about the possible things they can ask you based on this section 3. My classification of section 3. So the possible things they can ask you, let me just put down here. So let me just write section 3 here. Section 3. So the possible things they can ask you based on this class based on this section is that number one, they can ask you to identify specimen EG age. So E is yam tuber, so EG is groundnut seed, and then H is rat. Okay, that's the first thing. Let me tabulate this. So another question they can ask you based on this class, my second section is that can ask you to state the botanical name of specimen F and oh sorry, this is F not G, this is F not E rather, this is F. Sorry, F is yam tuber, as you can see it here. F is yam tuber. Sorry for that. So this is F G H. So they can ask you to state the botanical name of specimen F and G. So what's the botanical name for yam tuber? So the yam tuber is what? Diascorea rotundata. It depends on how you pronounce it. Dioscorea rotundata. And there is one thing there is that they say whenever you write botanical name, ensure you underline it. I don't know if that rule still persists. So that's number one. And then for the other one, that's the groundnut seed. That one is Arachis hypogi. Arachis hypogi. Or hypogia. Some people call it gia, some call it gi. It depends on how you pronounce it. Arachis hypogia. So that's number 2 question. Another thing they can ask you based on this my section is that they can actually ask you to mention 3 industrial uses of specimen G. That's the industrial uses of groundnut seed. So the first one is that it is used in the production of groundnut oil. Production of groundnut oil. That's the first one. Another uses is that it is used in manufacturing of margarine. You know, margarine used for cooking now. Sorry, that's margarine, but it's margarine. So margarine. And also, it is used in the production of livestock feed. So used in the production of livestock feed. Livestock feed simply means that the food that the livestock used to feed on. So they use this specimen G to produce livestock feed, such as what? Groundnut cake. The groundnut cake, Yoruba people will call it kuli kuli. So another question they can ask you based on this, my third section 3 is that they can ask you to list one nature of damage done by the crop. Sorry, they can ask you to name one nature of damage done to crop by specimen age. So this simply means that what is the nature of the damage done to the crop by this rat? That's what they're trying to say. So now look at rat now. Now what does rat does? So what does rat does? Basically, the rat feed on the seeds of those crops, and also it eat the fruit and also the tubers, even the stem. So that's one of the damage that rat used to do. Rat used to do to these crops. So you can just put it anyhow you like. You can just say it eats seeds, fruits, and tuber. or even stem of crops. So you can leave it like that. So another thing they can ask you is that they can ask you to maybe list 4 control measures of specimen age on the farm land. How can you control rats so that it will not destroy your fruit, your seed, your tubers, stem that you planted on the farm? How can you control it so that it will not affect them? So one out of it is that you must use a trap. Use of trap. So rat is is a pest. Good. So rat is a pest ahead. So another use of rodenticide. We already know that rat is a rodent. So you have to use rodenticide to kill the rat. And also you have to ensure you engage in proper sanitation and destruction and this sorry and destruction of hidden places. You might notice that rats will be passing through from that place. So any hidden places you find out that okay, rats will be penetrating to that place, then you destroy it. Okay, what is that thing again? And that is that you must be keeping cats around your farm. Understand? Cats used to feed on rats. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section. Cats used to feed on rats. So, but whenever rat sees a cat, the rat runs away. Oh God, say rhymes. So keeping cats or even other natural predators or other natural predators. So this natural predator simply means that cat is now serving as a predator, whereby the rat is serving as a prey. You understand? And the feeding between the two of them is not going to be what? That will be predation. Another question they can ask you based on this my section 3 is that they can say you should state maybe or can ask you to list one crop disease caused by virus on specimen F and G. So let me give that number 6. So for specimen F, the virus is what? That will be yam mosaic disease. Yeah, that's yam mosaic disease. And for the G, that's going to be groundnut rosette. Some people call it rosette. It depends on how you pronounce it. Groundnut rosette disease. Yeah, so that's that about that. Now that's that about my section 3. Now let's move to the last section. That's my section 4. So for the section 4, the specimen there is animal on oyster shell and maize cob. Good. Now let's discuss based on this section 4. Now let me write section 4 here. Now, what are the possible things they can ask you to? They can ask you based on this section 4 is that firstly, identify specimen IJK. That one is normal thing. IJK. So I is what? Animal on. You already saw the name. Animal on. Then the next one is your oyster shell. Yeah, oyster shell. And the K is the maize cob. Good. Yeah. All right. As you can see it there. Now let's move to another thing they can ask you based on this my last section is that they can say you should list 3 ways of removing specimen I from an animal. How can you remove animal on? Like Yoruba call it Iwo. How can you remove? Let me give that number 2. So how can you remove this on from animal? Number 1 of it is that by the honey. So you can dehone by dehoney using a dehoney knife. So by dehoney using a dehoney knife. So that's the first one. Now another way to use it that you're going to dehone using a dehoney saw. Yeah, there's a saw we used to dehone. So by dehoney using a dehoney saw. Another way is what? By using a hot iron, yeah, to dehorn, to remove those horn. Good. So that's that. Now, another thing they can ask you based on this, my section 4, is that they can ask you to list two benefits of specimen J and K in livestock feeding. So now you can ask to list the benefit of specimen J and K in livestock feeding. That is what J and K. That is the oyster shell and the maize cob. So what's the benefit of specimen J? So specimen J, okay, let me just manage here. Specimen J supplies calcium for for strong bones, and even eggshell formation. So that's the first one. Now, another one is that it improves the growth and skeletal development. That's bone and the growth. So, period. So, it improves the growth and the skeletal development. Skeletal development. Yeah, in farm animal, you can put it there in farm animal. All right. So, another thing, let me use this paper here. So, now I think I've listed two. So, it remains the one for K. So K is already maize cob. Oh, sorry. So K is already maize cob. So yeah, this is it here. So what's the benefit of maize cob in livestock feeding? Now, one is that it provides fibers. If you're talking about fiber, you are referring to roughages. Remember that we have supplement, we have concentrate, and we have roughages. So it provides fiber. This is a roughage for proper digestion. For proper digestion. Another benefit of it is that it adds bulk to animal feed. Good. Yeah. So that's that about that. Now, another thing they can ask you based on this, my last section, is that they might ask you to give one disease caused by inadequate supply of the nutrients contained in specimen J and K in the feed given to an animal. So now what's going to be the disease caused if the specimen J and K, they are inadequate in the feed given to farm animal? Is that for specimen J? Now let me give that number. That should be my number. Is that not number 4? Let me check. That should be my number 4. Yes. So that's my number 4. So for specimen J now, the disease is going to cause is going to be rickets. Many of you are familiar with this disease, ricket disease. And then for specimen K, the inadequate of it is going to lead to constipation. So constipation. So this constipation is will happen due to inadequate fiber. You understand? Due to inadequate fiber, so it leads to that constipation. All right. So another thing they can ask you based on this, my fourth section or my section 4, is that they can ask you to state 3 reasons. Yeah, 3 reasons on for carrying out the honey. So they can ask you to state 3 reasons for carrying out the honey, like removing horn from the farm animal. Yeah, when they dehorn, that means they are referring to what specimen? They are referring to specimen I. So that's it. So 3 reasons why they must do that. Let me give that number 5. Is that number 1 is that to prevent injury among animals. Among animals. You understand? If they are if they didn't dehorn them, they can fight and kill themselves. So, and also to prevent injury to handlers. And the third one is that to make handling and transportation easier. And transportation easier. All right. So this is where I'll be stopping this agricultural science practical. Ensure you add up this thing in this video to whatever you are reading. Please ensure you add it up and keep on reading. Don't hesitate to read. Add up whatever you are reading. I pray you excel well in your exam. Both the English you have wrote so you have written and other subjects you have written so far. Best of luck to you. My name is still remain Matt Kemp. See you in my next video. Bye.